everyone. Welcome to Somos Mayfair Gracias a la Vida virtual event. My name is Maria Urquiza Speaks, and I'll be your MC for today. As someone who has filled out so many roles at Somos, being a participant, being a community leader, a staff, and now as a board member, I guarantee you'll have an amazing time with us today. During this next hour, you will join us in a tour of Mayfair, where you have the opportunity to meet our current, previous staff, leaders from our community, talk about the amazing work that is going on in Mayfair. You will also have some fun with some performances from our local artists. But before we jump in, I want to take a moment to thank all of those who have been so helpful and supportive during these times of crisis, including all the sponsors who were flexible with us and continue investing in our movement. Thank you so much for being part of it and making this possible for us. Now, I would like to introduce you to Filter Drones, an amazing local artist. And please stay on the lookout for some fun trivia questions.
Somos Mayfair. Esta canción se llama Baila mi vida. Esta canción se llama La Forma y ¡huepa! La forma en que tú te mueves me estás volviendo loco. Quiero gozarte contigo, pero vamos poco a poco. Tenemos toda la noche para disfrutar nuestra vida. No te apures más, mi amorcita. Deja de bailar con tu amiga. La manera en que tú me miras me hace sentir. Y vamos a bailar pegadito, así como hace toda la gente. Y hasta que tú lo dices, yo no voy a parar. Y quiero bailar contigo, y quiero pachanguear. ¡Sí! Solo voy con mi pena, sola va mi condena. Correré mi destino por no llevar papel. Perdido en el corazón de la grande Babilón. Me dicen el clandestino por no llevar papel. Para la ciudad del norte yo me fui a trabajar. Mi vida la dejé entre Ceuta y Gibraltar. Soy una raya en el mar, fantasma en la ciudad. Mi vida va prohibida, dice la autoridad. Argelino clandestino, nigeriano clandestino, mexicano clandestino, ilegal, africano clandestino, venezolano clandestino, peruano clandestino, mexicano ilegal. Suena, gracias, somos Mayfair. Eastside, yeah. Que siga la cumbia, pues.
Welcome back. That was super fun. Now, I proudly want to introduce you to our Executive Director, Camille Llanes Fontanilla.
Thanks, Mari. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. I'm Camille Llanes Fontanilla, the Executive Director of Somos Mayfair. I wish we were all together in person at the Mexican Heritage Plaza, dancing, reconnecting, breaking bread, and celebrating the important work and the impact of our community leaders, promotoras, and staff. However, this virtual neighborhood tour will bring you right onto the streets of Mayfair, giving you the opportunity to more fully experience the sights, the sounds, the gems of our neighborhood, and most importantly, the unfiltered love, joy, pain, tenacity, and hope that is abound in everyday people, parents, neighbors, and youth who call Mayfair home. Our event theme, Gracias a Vida, thanks to life, brings even greater meaning to our team this year, as we mourn the many loss of lives lost, especially the people we lost in this neighborhood just last week. While our community continues to grieve and to be rocked by this pandemic and its ripple effects, physically, mentally, and economically disproportionate to others, we still come together to celebrate life. I'd also like to take an opportunity to thank the Somos staff directly, who have shown up throughout this entire pandemic. You have stepped up in every way to meet the immediate needs of our community, while also looking ahead with imagination, creativity, and an unwavering commitment to disrupting the status quo, as we firmly believe that returning to normal is not acceptable. It's not an option for us, as this crisis underscores just how inequitable things have been for far too long, especially our families. Today is also a day where we honor two leaders who recently left Somos, one to pursue well-deserved respite and retirement, and the other to continue to fight for immigrant rights with a new platform, as Santa Clara County's Director of the Office of Immigrant Relations. Please join me in honoring two women who, for the last 8 years, have stood by me, helped shape who Somos is today. My thought partners, my colleagues, my friends, Kathy Erickson and Celica Rodriguez-Deems.
Thank you, Camille, for those kind words. Before we get started, we wanted to take a moment to name and honor the Ohlone people, the original stewards of the land we are on.
And although Camille said that I was up here in retirement, it doesn't feel like I retired. I'm still working and I'm still contributing. But I think we just want to acknowledge that this has just been a tough year. Camille mentioned it in her opening, but we started the year in January with the pandemic raging in around the world. We shut down in San Jose on March 13th. I remember standing in the office with 10 people around Maria Martinez's computer, and we watched the announcement as we went to shelter in place, and we started wearing masks, and people started losing their jobs. And now the economic uncertainty of where we're going to go next. The riots that happened after the police brutality, the racism, there's Trump, and then RBG, and now it's the election and the concerns around the election. We are in a bad place, but Somos has been doing so much good work, and we continue to persist. Z?
We have found profound hope in all the different movements and all the different energy that people are investing in to stand up against all the isms that we're experiencing today. With the Black Lives Matter movement, we see our neighbors coming together in mutual aid. And to be really, really quite honest, Somos has also celebrated a lot of life this year. A lot of babies were born in this year. I think it was 6 or 7 within the year. Somos Mayfair has been called to action for a more just society that builds systems of community care, challenges racism, classism, all the isms, and dismantles the police state and immigration enforcement. We We are honored to be part of a movement where we are dedicated to building racial solidarity for a world where everyone can live free of fear and reach their fullest potential. We must continue to organize, show up, and vote.
And while Angelica and I are not officially on the staff any longer, we continue to be a part of the Somos family, to continue to contribute in ways that are that will always be important to both of us.
And we are grateful to have this opportunity to pass the torch on to the next generation of leaders who will carry on this very important work. We are excited to have great staff representation today, as this is the next generation of Somos leadership. Thank you, Victor and Saul, for stepping in and stepping up as we propel forward and reimagine a new system, future, way forward for all of our communities.
Welcome to Mayfair. I'm Victor.
And I'm Saul.
And we're honored to be your tour guides. Welcome to East San Jose, the home of Somos Mayfair. We're a community of resilient, creative people. We're a community of undocumented, multi-generational organizers, families, and we're here today to share with you about our organization. Let's go inside.
So welcome to Somos Mayfair. This is our headquarters. This is the home of our staff. Somos Mayfair has been a place-based organization for more than 20 years, and our roots, our heart is leadership development. We have our leadership development team, Family Resource Center, Empuje, and Vecinos Activos. And you'll hear from all these different strategies, but they all need to work together because our mission, our goal is truly to amplify the voice and build community power in this neighborhood. So now we're going to hear from our leadership development team.
Bueno, el desarrollo del liderazgo es el corazón de nuestro trabajo porque estamos creando, desarrollando un liderazgo que genera más liderazgo. Por consiguiente, tenemos más líderes, más personas que creen en nuestro trabajo, que se unen a la causa porque encontramos ese bien común. Creemos firmemente que todos somos líderes. Todas las personas de nuestra comunidad llevamos un líder dentro. Y muchas veces, lamentablemente, por esta situación en que vivimos, todos los problemas que hay, no creemos que somos líderes. Entonces, por eso es que es tan importante dentro de Somos el desarrollo del liderazgo. Por ejemplo, toda yo. Yo soy un ejemplo vivo de ello. Voy a contar un poquito cómo yo empecé. Cuando yo entré a Somos Mayfair, tuvieron que tocarme 20 veces la puerta y me enteré porque me dijo mi pobre compañera que le tocó hacer eso, porque yo no hablaba con nadie, yo no abría, era muy desconfiada y realmente no me interesaba hablar con nadie porque decía yo me van a criticar. Cuando yo entro a Somos Mayfair y a mí me dicen, oh, eres un líder, yo dije, ¿cómo soy un líder? Para mí la palabra líder un líder es el presidente, un líder es el maestro, pero no, entre más empecé a asistir a Somos Mayfair, empecé a practicar la educación popular, los talleres, todo lo que ofrecemos, me empecé a creer un líder y ahora sé que soy un líder y estoy segura que todos tenemos ese líder dentro. Y también me di cuenta que al final todos queremos lo mismo. Todos queremos un futuro mejor para nuestras familias y un mundo mejor para todos, para esas nuevas generaciones. Nosotros somos esa ramita, ese corazón que alimenta todos los proyectos, desarrollando el liderazgo de los líderes, pero también brindando esas herramientas que nos ayudan a todo el colectivo. Esta Universidad Popular de Mayfair, de nuestro Mayfair, registramos más de 100 líderes por año, donde ellos tienen la oportunidad de seguir creciendo y desarrollando su liderazgo de acuerdo a lo que ellos están viviendo diariamente. Nos capacitamos con herramientas y habilidades para poder lograr esos cambios que queremos y merecemos, pero siempre colectivamente. Tenemos la oportunidad y nos apoyamos mutuamente, compartimos y seguimos aprendiendo juntos.
How do we support each other? Through our Universidad Popular de Mayfair and our new mutual aid network, we are building a community-based infrastructure of collective care, learning, and action, where we all teach and we all learn, we share what we have, and receive what we need. So what does it look like to belong to this powerful web? Well, let's start with Araceli. Araceli needed a ride for a dental emergency, and she taught facilitation. Mariana learned facilitation and shared recipes. Angie received the recipes and taught how to use Excel. Nayin learned Excel and sewed face masks. Luz received a mask and cooked delicious food. Olivia ate that food and had one-on-one conversations with Marisol. Marisol was heard and created motivational videos. Lupe received the videos and shared technology tips. Angelica learned new tech skills and drove Araceli to the dentist. Now imagine this web extending out to sustain hundreds of leaders throughout all Somos projects. This is how we are caring for each other, sharpening our skills, deepening our imagination, and building power during this crisis and beyond.
Leadership development is connected to everything we do. And here at the Family Resource Center, parents not only have the opportunity to learn about literacy and other skills, but to be mentors and leaders for other parents as well. So we are the Family Resource Center here at Cesar Chavez Elementary within the Allen Brock Unified School District. This center is a hub not only for other partners, but for resources as well. And in the time of COVID, very, very particularly, a distribution site for diapers and other essentials serving our community. Welcome.
Hi everyone, my name is Angelica Lucano. I have been working with Somos Mayfair for 14 years. I'm from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, and I grew up with a family of 12 siblings. Being a mother with 2 children and living in a country where I did not grow up, English was not my first language. I started to involve myself into a community that helped me find a way to school success for my children. And I found that in Somos. Yeah, the reason I think that we were different to other FRCs is because every time we have received the curriculum, we take community voice and we align and merge the curriculums to make sure we meet the goals, but at the same time to the movement. So as soon as those parents complete the 12 sessions of parenting workshops, they're ready to the movement. So for example, one of the curriculums is Abriendo Puertas. This is the first 5. That curriculum talks about how you have the dreams to be your child at the university. So we've talked about university like at the early age. The parents have the dreams to how we're working together and advocate for the children, advocate to open those closing doors, you know. Like most of the parents feel like we don't have access because for the resources, for the money. So the curriculum for the Abriendo Puertas help us to build in community and they take decisions together. And we focus on the curriculum, but most in the parents' voice. An example of the alternative system we have is the co-op at Painter. We have a space for parents who don't qualify for early learning, and the children have been waiting list for a long time. So in this space, parents have the voice and advocate for the children, and they take a part as a parent assistant. This is beautiful to see how parents have the voice and have the power to take decisions in the classroom. I can say that 85% of the families that participate in the parenting workshops are families that are isolated, and it is the first time that they share it with other people. I think that the curriculums that we offer at the FRCs, parents find the opportunity to open and share all these things like they feel like nothing is possible, and they find the power to move wherever they want to see their children. It's so important for our community have a dream to see their children in another space and go far, you know, like the dreaming is so important in our spaces. Oh my God, I want to cry. Parents are the first advocate for their children. I think it's important they have these open doors for them, Monday to Friday, you know, day and night. We invite families to the movement. Todas las familias empiezan aquí, prenden la mecha y esto se ha encendido. Thank you.
During the last 6 months, our team has shown resilience in the way we have responded to emerging needs. We have responded by distributing essential supplies to our families, such as diapers, shelter-in-place kits, PPE, and more. We have responded by transitioning all of our programming to virtual programming to ensure that families stay connected, and by dropping off supplies to children who are participating in our virtual programming, such as books, activity kits, and more. All of this to ensure that our community stays and feels connected to one another during a time of isolation. I'd like to introduce you to a few families who have connected with our programs in the last few months.
En este programa, la verdad, he crecido mucho en cómo es que puedo yo ser capaz de ayudar a mis hijos y no pensar que solo estoy sola.
Somos ha sido como una segunda familia para mí, que me ha abierto las puertas a muchos recursos de los que yo no sabía y el aprendizaje sobre el desarrollo de mis hijos. Aparte de todo, me ha enseñado mucho sobre liderazgo y voz sobre mi comunidad.
Somos significa para mí y para mis hijos muchas cosas, desde aprendizaje a temprana edad, como crecimiento para mí como madre para poder ayudarles.
Y lo que me llevo es una gran experiencia de compartir mis vivencias con las demás compañeras y el saber de que todas compartimos los mismos problemas o las mismas situaciones.
Siento que es parte como terapia para estos momentos difíciles por los que hemos pasado y en realidad me ha ayudado muchísimo para mi familia en buscar recursos y muchas ayudas que tienen para ayudarnos a la comunidad.
Somos is a place where we can get together and gather our thoughts to better educate ourselves, all for the one cause of a better future for our children.
Welcome back. So we consider the FRC an alternative system because the team is creating and organizing with new families that don't have access to some of the programs that they need. On the other hand, our organizing team works to challenge existing systems and advocate for the resource that our community needs. This whole neighborhood has a long history of organizing, from Chavez organizing some of the first boycotts, voter registration, drives, to also Our Lady of Guadalupe Church being a place of justice and standing with people who fight for liberation. One of our first projects at Somos Mayfair was actually to organize and advocate for this community center so it could be a source of pride. We continue in the spirit of organizing with our organizing teams like Empuje and Vecinos, but we'll let you know what they're up to next.
Hey, thank you for coming and joining to this little meeting. I think that I would like just to start by knowing you, your name, who you are, and why you guys got involved. So, Maribel, if you would like to start.
Hi, my name is Maribel Ruiz and I'm from the community and part of Empuje too. And I'm here because, why? Because when I was a young student, my mother never get involved in my school because the culture of my country, whatever the teacher says, we have to respect that. So there is no way we can do something different though. So that's why now, as a mother, I decide I have to raise my voice and get involved for my child education.
How did Empuje start, and what's your role in the district now? Empuje started in 2014, 7 years ago. It was just 2 parents. Now, 7 years forward, I could tell you proudly that we have learned so much that we have actually built strong relationships with the school district. we have built such strong relationships that we are actually in 4 school sites. From not wanting us, from always staying up late, right now we have strong relationships. And from starting with 2 parents, right now we have around 25 to 50 parents. Can you tell me maybe some of your favorite moments where Empuje really had to show their voice and their power?
Yeah, let me tell you, Empuje helped me to find my voice and get out of my comfort zone. Like when we have a workout, and I was one of the leaders from the workout, that was great. So
we were able to walk out of the schools with parents and families, around 400 students, and we were able to stand up in front of that district and make a huge noise advocating for transparency for our students. Yeah, it was a lot of struggles. Yeah, it was a lot of injustices happening, but it also was a time where we really show up how powerful a parent movement can be, because this was all parent and community movement, and that is one of the most powerful things that we have ever done. So we told you a little bit about our biggest moments. You're our newest member. What has been one of maybe your shift moments in Empuje and the work that we're doing right now?
I started to get involved because I wanted to find something more. I wanted to find something meaningful. I just co-facilitated my first forum, over 70 participants. So that was a really, really fun experience, and that was really empowering, to sit with other parents who have, the same interest, but don't really know how or don't really know where to find the voice. I felt like I was being heard and respected for the first time. I think that's kind of what I needed, the extra push.
What is next for us?
So given, the pandemic and a lot of the disparities that we've seen, from low income and higher income families, the gap widening, the opportunity gap and the access to education, quality education has definitely widened with everyone moving to remote, education at home. So what can we do, as a community, as a collective, as parents and as advocates? We can register to vote, and we can vote yes on Prop 15 and put our schools and communities first.
So thank you both of you guys for joining us today, for telling like your magnificent stories, and for also highlighting that work, our past work, our newest work. Let's remember to register to vote and vote yes on Proposition 15, the schools and community first, for our communities and our children. Thank you once again.
Thank you for having us.
We're proud of our neighborhood, proud of our schools, proud of our families. We're proud of our history and proud of our shared vision that we have for the future. We're also proud of all the amazing gems and community assets that we have here in Mayfair, and we want to protect them. We're proud of the Mayfair Community Garden, our community centers, the Chavez Family Home, Our Lady of Guadalupe Church, the Mexican Heritage Plaza, all of our murals. But as you can see, we also are in the face of gentrification and displacement. And our team, Vecinos Activos, is working hard to make sure that we keep our families here and protect the neighborhood.
Hola, mi nombre es Selma Ángeles, he vivido en San José por más de 20 años, tengo 4 hijos y he sido parte de Vecinos Activos por 1 año. La situación de viviendas en San José se puso más duro, en las rentas ha subido y es más difícil proveer un hogar para mis hijos. En los últimos 4 años he tenido que moverme de casa como 8 veces. Una de ellas fue irme a vivir a Los Baños. Me tocó regresarme a San José para seguir trabajando con mi comunidad y seguir apoyando. Lo bueno de organizar en Somos Mayfair es que con Vecinos Activos puedo organizar con mis vecinos para mejorar mi situación. Vecinos me provee un espacio para poder abogar para viviendas accesibles. Por ejemplo, yo participé en un foro comunitario con el representante de Hugo y el alcalde de Montserrat. Hablé sobre la situación de nuestras familias y la subida de renta y cómo estamos organizando nuestra campaña de Derecho a un Techo. La campaña de Derecho a un Techo es para abogar en 3 áreas de viviendas. Por ejemplo, producción, prevención y preservación. Quería discutir el impacto de nuestras campañas abriendo en San José y cómo esta comunidad, la situación de nuestras familias económicamente. También quería explicar cómo desarrollar una póliza de antidesplazamiento de preferencia local. para que la ciudad de San José establezca pólizas para proteger nuestras familias relacionadas en viviendas. Como vecinos activos estamos confrontando desplazamientos y buscando soluciones para defender las familias con quienes organizamos. Gracias.
Hola, mi nombre es Zulema Ábalos y he vivido en San José por más de 17 años. Tengo un hijo y tengo 3 años involucrada en Vecinos Activos. Hemos trabajado con el Departamento de Vivienda de San José por más de 3 años, desarrollando una estrategia de antidesplazamiento. Apenas este 22 de septiembre, junto con otras organizaciones y con 10 votos de los concejales y el alcalde de San José, aceptaron 10 estrategias para responder al desplazamiento de nuestra familia. La prioridad número 2 de esta estrategia es establecer una póliza de preferencia local que hemos abogado y presentado de la ciudad por más de 2 años. Lo bueno que la ciudad de San José estableció una lista de 10 diferentes estrategias para confortar desplazamiento en la comunidad y vamos a seguir abogando y organizando más. Familias para detener a su familia. Con esta lista de 10 estrategias, durante los próximos años vamos a tener que aprender sobre los fideicomisos y como familias pueden juntar sus recursos para poder comprar sus viviendas cooperativamente. Tenemos que aprender cómo establecer y dirigir un fideicomiso y cómo buscar fondos para comprar donde queramos vivir. Entendemos que vamos a tener que establecer más pólizas como COPA y que es una oportunidad de la comunidad que compra donde viven. El trabajo de vecinos activos no terminamos y aunque estemos bajo restricciones de pandemia y crisis de virus, vamos a seguir adelante con nuestra familia. ¡Sí se puede!
Hola, soy Angelica, residente de San José por más de 17 años, mamá de 3 niños y miembro de Vecinos Activos por un poco más de 6 años. Como miembro de Vecinos Activos he tenido la oportunidad de reunirme con concejales y el alcalde de San José para presentar nuestras ideas de una póliza antidesplazamiento y de preferencia local que creamos con muchísimos residentes y otras organizaciones de San José. Teniendo nuestras reuniones con los de la ciudad, aprendimos a cómo crear una relación con ellos para poder abogar nuestra posición cuando el concilio va a discutir pólizas u otros cambios que nos afectan. Vecinos Activos me proveyó la manera de tener voz en las decisiones de la ciudad, decisiones que nos afectan. También hemos organizado diferentes manifestaciones y acciones para mostrar creativamente nuestros mensajes y lo que estamos tratando de lograr. Enfocamos, por ejemplo, en los cambios que vienen de muchas construcciones de viviendas en el corredor de la avenida Allen Rock y qué significa para nuestros residentes. Aunque las compañías de viviendas quieren cambiar y desarrollar nuestro vecindario, como vecinos activos estamos aquí para asegurar que tenemos voz en el desarrollo y los cambios que vienen.
I'm very happy to introduce you to Quetzal Gardens, the future home of Somos Mayfair. This is a true testament to the work of community organizers, our developer, RCD, the City of San Jose, and the County of Santa Clara coming together in conversation with community to develop this site. We are proud to announce that Somos Mayfair will be one of the tenants on the ground commercial floor with 100% affordable housing at the top. I want to thank you for joining us today in this tour. We hope to see you very soon in person here in Mayfair, taking advantage of the many treasures of this community. So thank you very much for joining us today.
What an amazing tour! That was amazing. Thank you so much to all the staff and community leaders who share with us the amazing work they're doing. Now, Camille Janice Fontanilla, our Executive Director, will join me.
Hello, everyone. Thank you again for taking our virtual tour. I hope a few things stood out for you. Number one, leadership runs deep in this organization and in our community. Everyone from the youth to the parent leaders to neighbors and staff bring voice, perspective, and power to positively impact the lives of East San Jose residents. Number two, we have some immediate asks. If you can, and you haven't done so already, register to vote. Use your voice in this election, not only to amplify your voice, but the voices of our neighbors, your neighbors, who cannot vote. And vote yes on Proposition 15 to close the loopholes that have allowed disparities to widen, impacting neighborhoods like Mayfair all across California. Alongside our Si Se Puede collective partners, we also have a voter guide that is being released this week, so keep an eye out for that. Number three, there is power in this community. We aren't waiting around in this pandemic. We aren't helpless, and we know that the pandemic, the economic crises, the fires that hit East San Jose all impact our community disproportionately. And that is why we continue to fight. So now, with the remaining time I have left, I want to get really real. This pandemic has made things that were already hard even harder. Personally, like many of you, I'm a mom with children at home navigating distance learning while working and participating in way too many Zooms. I'm also a community leader, volunteering on the weekends to support the values and things I care about. And I'm an executive director of an anchor organization in East San Jose, an organization that the community looks to and depends on. So even when I'm tired and I'm exhausted, I know that I have 2 kids at home that are counting on me to hold on to hope, to not get lost in the exhaustion and the despair. But that's a struggle. And I also know that we have an entire staff and an entire community who also have to wake up every morning and face their children every day, to stand up, to put one foot in front of the other, and to find hope somehow in our personal and our collective strength and tenacity. This pandemic has underscored the brutal realities and inequities that the people of East San Jose have endured for generations. Every day we see the fractures in our economic, health, and education systems, but we refuse to back down and walk away silently. We refuse because we have built something very special in this community, not just us, but each generation before us. Each generation of community leaders in Mayfair have taken it upon themselves to take us one step closer to justice and liberation. And in our tour today, you saw that demonstrated in our local gems, in the movement that continues, and most importantly, in the heart and the power of the people. So when people tell me or tell us that if it's too expensive to live here, you should just move away because it's more affordable in other places, while that might be well-meaning, it completely misses the important parts of what Mayfair and our work mean to me and mean to us. Here, we move people from isolation to connectedness, like you saw in every story that we showed you today. We remove barriers to access and create an ecosystem of supports so that people can thrive. We uphold culture, history, and heritage, all the things that make people feel whole. So with the pressures of displacement and gentrification and the widening disparities, even further exacerbated with this pandemic, we must stand firm and we must uphold the values that being rooted in family and being rooted in community is more important than anything else. The Somos team will continue to uphold this value in all aspects of our work, even when it gets hard, even when we're tired. Starting today and in the coming months, we will shine a light on our new Building Our Home fundraising campaign. This campaign is meant to secure grassroots and nimble funding from donors like you, so that we can continue to adjust our programming to meet the ever-evolving needs of our community, to maintain and forge partnerships and coalitions that create a healthy ecosystem for all of us to thrive, to honor our incredible community leaders, promotoras, and staff with just and livable wages, breaking cycles of poverty, to challenge ourselves to deepen our learning and daily practices of being explicitly anti-racist and reconciling our past histories. To invest in our physical home, Quetzal Gardens, slated to open next summer. This is the first Measure A funded project with ground floor commercial space with 100% mixed income affordability. We're super excited to be a part of this project, and you can be a part of it too. And lastly, to invest in our infrastructure and build a healthy reserve so that we too can withstand the pressures of the economic downturn that stands before us and the pressures of displacement that are also affecting nonprofits and small businesses. Embedded in all of this is a commitment to protecting and preserving what makes our organization and this community special, while also giving us the opportunity to dream, to build, to reimagine new ways of doing things. East San Jose is full of everyday people like you and me, people with dreams, people with families, people trying to build a home, trying to stay rooted. Help us protect that. Invest in that. Thank you.
Thank you, Camille. That was very inspiring. I hope everyone is inspired and motivated to give, because it is time to give. Any donation, any amount helps. It makes a difference in the kind of work that we do. So please remember, any amount. Donations will be supporting all of our programs: leadership development, early learning, community organizing, and our soon-to-be new home, Quetzal. So please take out your credit cards and start giving some money. That will be so helpful for this kind of work. Trust me, I'm being through the whole thing. As I mentioned before, I started as a participant when I was a single mother, an immigrant in this country, and I didn't have a community to support me, and I found this community here at Somos. So it makes a big difference in a whole family. So please, any amount you can donate. I know it's difficult times that we're facing, but remember that it is only that together we can make a change.
Mari, thank you so much for your leadership. I've been here the entire time of your evolution, and it's just been wonderful to see you move through your entire journey and to bring your family with you. It means so much to me that now you're a member of our board of directors, which truly emphasizes that this entire organization is for and of our people. And I'm just so thrilled that you're here today celebrating with us.
Thank you so much for this great opportunity. It is a learning opportunity for me as a new board member of Somos, and I feel so proud of it. But I do want to motivate other women, immigrant women like me, Latinas, to know that you're not alone. You have a whole community that supports you, and that together we can move on and do amazing things. So don't give up. Please, everyone who's seeing you, don't give up on our community, on our families. Continue to support. To those who are continuously supporting our work, thank you so much again. And for those new people that it might be your first time learning about the great work that Somos is doing in Mayfair, please, any amount that you can give us, that will be of great support.
There are so many exciting things that were part of that tour, Mari. So as donations are coming in, anything else you want to highlight from the tour?
I'm sorry, who was that?
Anything else you want to highlight from the tour? What was your favorite part?
The families that share their stories, their individual stories, because I think this is what makes you see what is possible. I know we can all talk about it and share those stories with you, but it is not the same when it comes from every individual family who is being affected by these changes, but the amazing work that our leaders and our staff are doing at Mayfair. So they're the best to tell the stories, their own stories. So that was my favorite part, to see that. Like everyone participating, children, parents, grandparents, uncles, aunties, everyone from the family. It's like, I love that Somos includes everyone in the whole community. No one is left out.
You're exactly right, Mari. We believe in generational change. We believe in impacting an entire family so that it's sustainable, right? Every investment is sustainable. It's been an incredible journey. I was going to mention earlier that this is my 10th year here at Somos, 7 years being an executive director. And in that time, you know, while the organization has evolved, yes, we've grown bigger, we have more staff, we're much more sustainable of an organization. The same thing resonates with me. The most important thing that I've seen over this 10 years is the evolution of individual leaders like you and entire families. When you, Maria, come to Somos, it's not just you. We've worked with your daughter, Jasmine. We've worked with your brother. We've worked with your parents. And you're just one example of every family that we come into contact with. And that's really how we build a movement here. So it truly has been an honor to lead this organization. I know some people know that I've been off for the past 4 months tending to my brand new baby at home, but you know, I'm back. This staff sustains me. My board sustains me. And even though, like I mentioned, it's tiring and exhausting, there's just really too much good work that we can't walk away from. So I hope that our donors support our work today and in the coming months, because we really want to raise, again, grassroots funding that's nimble enough to let us manifest our dreams, that don't box us in to, you know, specific programs, specific targets, but really allow us to build something new here in Mayfair. That's what's really exciting for me.
Great. So now it's time to introduce to you all to one of our local artists. Her name is Diana.
Hola, muy buenos días. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. It really, truly is an honor. And from what I just saw and heard, I take away 2 words that are some of my favorite words: evolution and change. I heard those 2 words being mentioned a lot throughout the speakers and through everyone who shared their stories here. So I want to celebrate you as an organization, every individual who makes your organization work possible, and all the people that you are affecting and empowering. And so to celebrate with you, I am going to sing a song called Todo Cambia, which means everything changes. Cambia lo superficial, cambia también lo profundo, cambia el modo de pensar, cambia todo en este mundo, cambia el clima con los años, cambia el pastor su rebaño, y así como todo cambia, que yo cambie no es extraño. Cambia el más fino brillante, de mano en mano su brillo, cambia el nido el pajarillo, cambia el sentir un amante, cambia el rumbo el caminante, aunque esto le cause daño, y así como todo cambia, que yo cambie no es extraño. Cambia, todo cambia. Cambia, todo cambia. Cambia, todo cambia. Cambia, todo cambia. The finest diamond changes its brightness as it travels from hand to hand. The bird changes its nest, so does a lover change the way he feels or she feels. The traveler changes his path, even if this proves to be dangerous. And just as everything changes, the fact that I change is not in the least strange. The sun changes its course to give way to the light, to the night. The plant changes and gets dressed in green during the spring. The beast changes its fur. The hair of an old person changes, and just as everything changes, the fact that I change, it's not in the least strange. But my love does not change, no matter how far away I find myself. Neither the memory nor the pain of my country and my people change. What changed yesterday will have to change tomorrow, just as I change. In this foreign land, changes, everything changes. Cambia, todo cambia. Cambia, todo cambia. Cambia el sol en su carrera cuando la noche subsiste. Cambia la planta y se viste de verde la primavera. Cambia el pelaje la fiera, cambia el cabello el anciano. Y así como todo cambia, que yo cambie no es extraño, pero no cambia mi amor. Por más lejos que me encuentre, ni el recuerdo ni el dolor de mi pueblo y de mi gente. Y lo que cambió ayer tendrá que cambiar mañana, así como cambio yo en estas tierras lejanas. Cántale. Cambia, todo cambia. Sing from your corner of this world. Sing with me. Cambia, todo cambia. Cambia, todo cambia. Cambia, todo cambia. Gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto. Me ha dado la risa y me ha dado el llanto. Con ello distingo dicha de quebranto. Los dos materiales que forman mi canto. Y el canto de ustedes somos Mayfair, que es mi propio canto, y el canto de todos, que es el mismo canto. Gracias a la vida, gracias a la vida.
Thank you so much, Diana. That was amazing and so inspiring. Thank you so much. You're so talented. We're so lucky to have you. And as we're wrapping up, we want to thank you all once again for joining us today and for supporting our movement. We're seeing lots of powerful people, a lot of examples of how our leaders and staff are so resilient and committed in building a community power. Please, as the work continues, I continue to ask you to please donate. This is not the end. This is gonna end, but you can still donate. So there is no excuse. Please, I hope you're really inspired to make a donation today or tomorrow or whenever is possible for you, but please, any amount helps. We invite you not to just donate, because that's just one way to be part of this movement, but also to bring your leadership, to be part of this movement, because it is only that together we can make bigger changes. We can advocate together, organize together to push the system for a better system that works for everyone, for every child, for every family in our community. Thank you once again for being here with us today.